We're out here in Squamish checking out 19th hole, and we're gonna do some riding and check out some lines. It's looking pretty loose. Just from the road up here, should be good. Steppy ledges into some loose bench cut, and then leads into this kind of fading right drop that, yeah, you don't want to fade too far left because you get stuck in that gnarly stuff. Yeah, it's pretty hectic in here, especially with it being so loose and all this, yeah, little marbly stuff. You can see coming in this turn, there's a big rut on the left that looks pretty inviting, but you definitely won't want to go down there. You're going to want to kind of slow down a bit more than you would if you were going to go in that rut and get on this inside line. The inside, you got to brake a bit more, but you get the sick exit speed, and the outside looks inviting at the start, but then as you can see, you're just going so much wider, and then you get pretty loose with that tree and that next bit of the rut. We just got a pretty steep section with some kind of big drops in it. Pretty steep down here, down these drops, and then it's a bit wild right here with this root and these few rocks. And yeah, I think if you kind of just wait right here and skip over this hole, you'll be a lot more settled into this next section, and yeah, just have more time to brake before this next right-hander, because it looks pretty important after that. Just like things like this, and you know, just helping the people out. Moving small things like that goes a long way. So right here we just got, you're coming off kind of a traversy section, and then it comes into a pretty wide kind of area with a bunch of lines, but right now there's only really one kind of main line right down the middle. Oh, these compressions, I haven't actually ridden them yet, so I don't know how wild they're gonna get me, but right now they look pretty hectic. So after these two corners, I'd say this one's pretty important because it gets a bit flatter after, so you really want to carry your speed through it. After you carry that 6 speed, you pull up off here and air down to here and try and stay on the left side so you get some good setup into this next corner. Honestly, I think the traction here is probably better than it is up there because there's not as much loose stuff, and you know, you got this bit of like, you kind of see almost a bit of moisture in this dirt, and yeah, this will be a good spot. You'll be a bit more relaxed here than up on that super loose 2-inch of like rock sand stuff. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking. It felt pretty good once I landed, but those 2 turns coming into it are real loose. 2 pretty big different options. Over here, there's kind of, you come up on this ledge into this steep pitch with a big compression into a left-hand then right-hand turn. You know, you're coming off the steep bit right there. You're still on the safe, and then you start coming down here, and it gets a bit weird and turny. But like the main part of compression, I'd say, would probably be around right here, right before you go off the next kind of ledge, keeping it hectic. So it's not just compression and then you could chill, it's a compression into a ledge, into a corner. For this kind of riding, because it's so steep and yeah, some pretty big compressions, you kind of want to set up so that when you're sitting on the bike, you're like slightly more off the back, and you kind of run your front end a bit harder than the back, just to keep you, when it's so steep, in like more of a level position going down it. And then for the big compressions, it's always good to have a bit of progression in your bike so that you can have the start of your stroke still be like soft for the kind of sketchy like off camber or whatever bits, and then like when you're having the big hits, you don't fully blow through your suspension. So we got the steep compression ledge, then into the corner. The highline was pretty good, and actually from looking at it again, it's got quite a good entrance out of the other side of the trail. Coming into this other line, it's quite a bit more direct, and like you just have to cover less ground to get to it. And you just kind of come down, and then there's just a few big compressions, but you got to go through these pretty tight trees. Yeah, going through these trees is pretty hectic, but yeah, it's just way straighter and a lot of less land to cover than that line up there on the ledge. On the high line here, you run out is a corner, and you have to corner again into that final turn. And then on the lower line, you're just coming straight in, and instead of dealing with corners, you got to deal with this little stump thing here, whether you're gonna kind of jump over it or wiggle around it. And that just lines you straight into that final corner.
Yeah. Squamish scar, hit for the gnar. He responds.
Squamish scar. I can't do it now. Squamish scar came for the gnar. Here we are. We are for Henry. We've seen Henry ride before, and so we got called in specialty here to pick up the mess after.
We're a little worried about him. But.
Yeah. But not really, no.
Should we do this?
He's not going to see this, I hope.
Nice.
Woo!
Henry.
Right on. Sparks and all.
Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the bit of looseness happening, and yeah, click here to watch more videos and here to subscribe.